Today I'm on my vintage resto modern classic Bonneville T100, and we're headed to a vintage motorcycle show in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. It's a beautiful day. It's a little bit overcast. The weather guessers were incorrect. They said it was supposed to be 5% chance of rain. We're up to 44%, so hopefully we won't get soaked. We're along the Colorado River. Behind me is the Parker Dam. Parker Dam is holding back Colorado River water, and you can actually drive across it like these folks are. The beautiful emerald green water, the Colorado River that separates Arizona from California. Not 100% certain what we're going to accomplish today. Never been to this show before. Looks like it's been going on for several years. It's at Best Motorsports in Lake Havasu City. Should be interesting anyway. Always fun to go someplace new. Let's get on the bike and check it out. believe we've gotten off at the right street, looking for Paseo del Sol and Best Motorsports. That ride up 95 is just beautiful. It's not always angry car. It's not always photogenic. However, a lot of the beauty is off in the distance. And here is our little road. Looks like there's lots of vintage cars here. Let's see where we can park. I was looking for a cool spot to park, but we will take whatever we can get here. This will work. Well, not the most picturesque parking spot. How about how many are? I'm gonna walk in there. I know there's going to be a crap ton of really loud music and probably get a copyright strike, but who cares? We're going to have a good time today and go look at some vintage motorcycles and cars. I got an art show on wheels. All right, well, I just walked out of Best Motorsports and they told me that the bike show was last weekend, and I will put in a picture here of the poster that I saw that said it was this weekend. So we're gonna look at some cars instead of bikes. 57 Chevrolet, beautiful red color. These were a work of art for sure. Or Galaxy, red on red.
It's about like your old 62.
He's being his usual self.
Kind of set up like a gasser. Well, as the kids say, it's all about the adventure, and you got to make it do with what you have. And you can't beat all these cars. It's just an amazing amount of cars here from all different kinds of eras. Speaking of which, here's a old DeSoto. I don't think you'll be hauling too much from Lowe's in this thing. This thing is pretty well slammed. Love that maroon red color. Really suits these antique vehicles. Now this truck is just about as old as I am, an old GMC. Remember, my dad had one that was in turquoise. These things are bulletproof. Here's what kids call a square body. I had one just about like this. It was the GMC version. 1985 I had. Very popular right now from what I understand. Wish I had mine back, it'd be worth some money. There's a Buick Riviera, very Baroque styling. Quite a vehicle in its day for sure. Here's a Buick from the Harley Earl era. This was the later part of Harley Earl, kind of when he went crazy with bling. And with days of fins and rocket taillights. Just a giant trunk. I think that's bigger than my first apartment. Beautiful car. Just every detail in these late 50s, early 60s cars with just well thought out and just like rolling art projects. Pontiac GTO Judge. My buddy's older brother had one of these back in the early 80s, and I remember flying down a highway with my head hitting the top of the roof because that roof line in the back is very low. I was probably 12 or 13 years old and blasting, unfortunately, disco music. That was a heck of a night. Well, here's some of my favorite cars. These are the later versions. It's 67, I think. Chevelle. This is probably a 70 or so. My favorite is the 65, 66, 67 Chevelles. El Camino. A lot of these were chopped up for drag cars. Remember when trucks were really inexpensive, and over the last 10 years or so, I think the value of vintage trucks has probably outshot most sedans. Beautiful Mercury Cougar. Plymouth Savoy. As I recall, they didn't come with a 426, but I could be absolutely wrong. I'm sure most of them probably shipped with a 155 or 255 slant 6. These are my favorite Corvettes. Well, I didn't completely lie earlier. There are some vintage bikes here. Some old Yamaha dual sports. See a nice old Bonneville 750. Honda Scrambler. CL 350 if I'm not mistaken. Just my neighbor when I was a kid had one of these out in the front yard, and I really wanted to buy it, but with my antics on dirt bikes, my parents said, you're going to get a Honda Passport if you can save up enough money. There's a whole line of Dodge Hemi Powers into the modern era. Dodge has really done a really nice job of recapturing the muscle car era in the modern era. I think they're probably the best out of the big three. Beautiful 327 Nova. It's for sale. Call Rick at that number. 66, that's the year I was born. Here's a beautiful 55 Bel Air. Just love the color on this thing.
So go get one of those, give it to your grandkids, they love it.
Again, the interiors, just about every part of these cars from this era were just well thought out, and like I said, kind of art projects in themselves. Got some German engineering over here. It's kind of like that James Dean era
You might want to check up there on
Porsche,
the outer side of the
Beetle,
white snow fence.
kind of the
They'll have
anti-Porsche, I
everything
guess you would
posted,
say.
all the winners. Silent auction.
Okay,
Jacket,
so
which is
this
pretty
is like
cool.
a
It's got all the
mid-60s,
sponsors'
late
patches on
60s
it. And we also
Corvette.
have 2 paintings. They're pretty awesome. So go
on a
check
modern
it out.
Corvette.
Again, that's where the dining area
Must be a
is on
kit
the
or something, or this guy did a lot of work. That looks really cool.
But it's there.
Slammed Continental, 2-door. I always think of Kennedy as destination when I see this era Lincolns. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Morose, I guess you'd say. But beautiful 54 Ford convertible. I'm sure this is not period correct, but what a beautiful job they did. You could see yourself out driving around a nice sunny day, doing your Thelma and Louise impression. Well, there's no swap to this car show. Just a little vendor row here. I ain't up for buying anything, so that's what that looks like. Well, here's another little bike section. We got a little Scrambler Sportster and baggers, and man, that sucked. I don't know if you guys heard that mic feedback. Got an Indian. These things are pretty interesting. I mean, checking these out, they're pretty cool design and good reliability. For the bagger types, but that's a new one. So with that, I'm going to head back to the bike and find something else to do today. I think we got best in show right here for the bike show anyway. Well, thanks for watching. I appreciate you watching, and catch you in the next video. Adios.